What's shaking YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of Longbox Fancy CovrPrice Comic Book Shakers of the Week.
Yeah, that's how we do it. And
that's it.
As a good friend of mine used to say, while we congregate.
What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox, the first ever CovrPrice top 10 lists. And before we rock it, you know what we like to do, so stay in there, boys and girls. It's of infinite earths, of infinite reviews, of infinite realities, of infinite recaps, starting right now. What's good, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox. Happy new comic book day to you. What is going on, YouTubeites? This is your boy TiVo. What's going on, YouTubeites? What's going on in the world today, y'all? What's good, YouTubeites? Welcome to actually, happy new comic book day to you.
Yes,
Also,
we're back. New comic book day.
What's good, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox, and happy Tuesday to you. Welcome to the CovrPrice Top 10 Weekly List. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox and our weekly CovrPrice Top 10 List. What is going on, YouTubeites? Your boy TiVo and Darkside Jedi. What's shaking, YouTubeites? It's Thursday. That can only mean one thing. What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the weekly CovrPrice Shakers of the Week. What's good, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the CovrPrice Top 10 Selling Comics of the Week, sponsored to you by our friends over at CovrPrice Shop. What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the CovrPrice Shakers of the Week. What's going on, YouTubeites? Is it too late to say Happy New Year? I'm making. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the CovrPrice Top 10 for the week ending October 9th. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the CovrPrice Top 10. What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the CovrPrice Comic Book Shakers of the Week. What's up, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the CovrPrice Comic Book Shakers of the Week. What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox presents the Comic Book Shakers of the Week. What's shaking, YouTubeites? Welcome to Lords of the Longbox.
Right.
Love it.
Sorry.
Love it. That is an intro, man. And that's how you start the panel to get emotional.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Just watching how
Awesome
young
job.
all of us were.
Well, we were all so young. Man, they saw that baby face JB on there. Man, that was great. Missing Tim, thinking about you a lot on the anniversary of his passing. But keep in mind, everybody, that he brought us all together, and we are really celebrating him every time we do this show. And it's the Shakers, you know, as he said at the beginning. What's shaking, YouTubeites? Thanks for joining us tonight. And before we get started, Marty, say what's good to the people.
Greetings and salutations, geeks and geekettes, and welcome to our Thursday Shaker. We're going to see what's going on in this list. And my goodness, man, if you got something out there, congratulations. This is a tough one, man. Not impossible. I believe Dr. Yo-Yo actually messaged us earlier today and said, hey, I actually got one of these on the list. So I was like, very good. So if you guys got one, congratulations. Welcome to the show. We are absolutely amazed and always grateful that you guys are always showing up on our live chat, interacting with us, having a great time. I know Tim up there, down here, over there, wherever he is, right? He's all around us, and he's watching us, and he's also appreciating that. So thank you once again for joining us. We always remember TiVo, just like JB said, but you know, this is the 1 year anniversary, and you know, it's solemn. However, also just what JB said, it brings the community together. It really shows like how close we are as a tight-knit community when we want to be. So thank you guys.
Gabe, say what's good to the people.
Hey, JB, just first off, man, thank you. That is the intro. Somebody mentioned it before, Leverage Comics. We talked about in the green room. That's how these shows should always be getting kicked off. Is just nonstop Tim videos, his intros, his humor, his fun. You saw it there. He had mustache a couple times. I wonder how long it took. I wonder how long it took for him to grow that facial hair. That's how the show should always get started. Like Marty was saying, this, and you guys were saying, this is all on the back of Tim. He still carries it, even though he's not here. And those videos should be a mainstay. That should be it from here on out.
Yeah.
But also, big shout out to the chat. I hope everybody's having a good day. Dallas Comic-Con is coming up, so if you're going out there, safe travels, have fun. There's 20,000 variants. It's ridiculous. It is what it is. But I hope everybody's having a great time at Dallas Fan Expo this week. So let's go. Let's make this have a good list. See what's up.
Tim had that certain charisma about him. Like when you watch those videos, you can't match it. I mean, no one can match it. He had that way about him, the way he presented himself, how he just brought everybody in, his knowledge and all that. It's just, you can't match that. You can't replicate that.
Oh, we got a little something special for you to remind us of Mikey here at the end of the show. So stick around, folks. We got a few little things that are going to happen when JB is driving. We did mention Dallas Fan Expo, and you know how CovrPrice does it for less than the price of a McRib. That's right, for less than the price of McRib, you should be a member over at CovrPrice. They have got all kinds of links, including the new links to all the exclusive covers over at Dallas Fan Expo. So make sure to get over to CovrPrice and check that out. Let's get this show started with another little something special. Like, I think there's a standard intro to this show, isn't there? How's it go?
Once again, these are the comic book shakers of the week, looking at the largest or most interesting sales of the week. And this is in no really dollar value order. It's just alphabetical. So what do we have up first?
Nice. Bringing in the first one is Adam, Legend of Blue Marvel, number 5, Tim. Published by Marvel in 2009. The world was introduced to one of the strongest heroes in the Marvel Universe when they met the Sentry and Thunderbolt. But what about a character that could even body him? Meet Blue Marvel, or Adam, the strongest hero in the Marvel Universe. The guy is nearly unstoppable, a genius, rich, and incredibly strong, and can even manipulate antimatter and the building blocks of the universe. He's incredibly OP, yet incredibly under the radar. First introduced in Adam, Legend of Blue Marvel number 1, he was slated to receive a 6-issue miniseries to flesh out the character and slowly introduce him to modern audiences. The reception was underwhelming, with Marvel reducing copies produced and issues count, including with this book, number 5, which had a reported print run of less than 10,000. Then he fell into obscurity until the COVID boom brought him back to limelight until now. Recently, a CGC 9.8 copy of this and one of the 36 on the census hit the market and sold for $400. It's not the all-time high sale, which occurred at the height of the boom in 2021 and sold for $500. But it's a potential signal of stabilization. We saw a downward trend, bottoming out at $150 before hitting $300 late last year and the most recent $400 sale. Raw copies have followed a similar trend, with a sharp rise, decline, and steady rise as the market corrects. It might be a sign of what's to come with Thunderbolt, garnering a ton of goodwill from the community. It seems some fans may be ready to believe in Marvel again, and the building blocks they're laying out for the future.
Man, what do you guys think of this one, Gabe? Hey, by the way, if you're playing along at home, we normally call the show the Ofer, but if you're watching and you see us highlighting those comments and you want to get in on that, subscribe to the channel, get into the chat, throw up your comment, and see it live on YouTube. All right, Gabe, what do you think of this 2009 Adam?
I think it's interesting that they are somehow connecting this to Thunderbolts. and how people are liking the Thunderbolts movie, and how Adam Strange, or not Adam Strange, but how Blue Marvel might have something to do in the future. But it shows. I like the information they had here. Great information. Always shout out to CovrPrice and their writers. It hitting $150, bottoming out, coming back up a little bit to 300, now back up to 400. So I think we're kind of in that phase right now where comic books and their prices are starting to really kind of stabilize and be not crazy like it was the last 4 years of COVID and all that kind of crazy stuff. And this might be an indicator of that. We'll see what number 1 goes for one day.
All right. First one on the list, we've got Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel, issue number 5, originally published in 2009 from Marvel. Gabe, what have we got at Shaker number 2?
All right. Number 2 is the Astounding Wolf-Man, number 16. This is a Dale Keown 1 in 25. This is from Image Comics, written by good old Robert Kirkman. So this title doesn't tend to stay too far off of the Shakers list. We previously covered the 1 in 25 incentive for issue number 18. A couple months back, and this week, this raw copy of Astonishing Wolf-Man number 16 smashed records with a sale of $1,500.
Damn!
Eclipsing the previous 2023 high of $1,200. Robert Kirkman's Invincible Universe is certainly thriving this year. This surge in demand has been primarily driven by the release of the 3rd season of the animated series and the debut of the new Battle Beast series. Although Astonishing Wolf-Man is less celebrated, the sidestep from the main story has garnered a unique fan base, with only 2 copies of this existing on the census. One's a 9.8, and there's also a 8.5. I'm sorry, a 9.4 and an 8.5. You must admit that this underscores the extreme scarcity of this incentive. Dale Keown's dynamic artwork and the 1 in 25 ratio's limited print run have made this beauty a sought-after item on many collectors' wish lists. Invincible Universe variants are becoming increasingly coveted, ensuring their status as prized collectibles. This all-time high sell is a testament to the growing demand, and along with this, Astonishing Wolf-Man number 16 further cements the reputation in the booming Invincible market for years to come. So keep an eye out for 1 in 25 of issue 17, and keep your eye out for the 1 in 10 of issue number 21, as these are the only other incentives in this 25 issue run series.
Why am I muted? Man, what do you think of that? By the way, if you always comment your favorite cover too. So, I'm always trying to drum up some comments. If you're following along, tell us what your score is and tell us what your favorite cover of the night has been so far. What do you guys think of this one?
Man, besides that, this is an amazing cover. First of all, gorgeous. Dale does an amazing job when it comes to that. I'm kind of late jumping on board with the Invincible Universe, but I'm really, really enjoying it. Finished the whole series on, what was it, on Prime, I believe it was. But I really, really enjoy the Invincible Universe, and I love the way they expand it out, where you can kind of see the offshoot characters as well and see what they're up to.
All right, at Shaker number 2, we've got the Astounding Wolf-Man issue number 16, the Dale Keown 1 in 25, originally published in 2009 from Image. Marty, what have we got at Shaker number 3?
Yeah, bringing in Creepy Worlds number 35, Allen Class, 1964. We're 2 months away from the debut of the new MCU film, Fantastic Four: First Steps. In the months leading up to the film, we've seen several Fantastic Four keys hit our top list, everything from Rwby's first appearance to a big key appearance like Galactus. If you love chasing old school covers, maybe you are the one of those chasing the classic Silver Age books. While a few of these books are out on the average collector's budget, there are alternatives for those determined to secure the cover art of the era. For example, in 1961, Fantastic Four #3 was released with a phenomenal cover and great artwork for the debut of Fantastic Four's iconic costumes. All around Jack Kirby's goodness. Iconic Jack Kirby. If you want this book, a CGC 6.0 would easily run you over $2.5K. Fear not, the UK publishing company, Allen Class Comics, has you covered. Allen Class Comics was in the business of reprinting comics in an anthology format, black and white interior, and redistributing the books to the UK. This issue of Creepy Worlds reprints the classic #3 issue, along with the cover art, only 3 years after it debuted. A CGC 6.0 recently sold for a new time all high of $395. It is also the highest grade sale we have recorded. Interestingly, this 6.0 is the only one on the CGC census. There is only one more graded copy above this quality, a sole issue graded at a 7.0. This book comes from the same era with the same great artwork and rarity from a fraction of the original. As comic hunters look for ways to save on their favorite Silver Age issues, we're likely to see reprints like this start making waves on the aftermarket. Wow, just some great history right here. I mean, some classic.
So this was distributed in the UK. Is that what we got here?
Yeah, and it was all black and white interior.
Black and white interior distributed. I
Yeah.
don't know what this means. I could have made this in the garage next door. Boom.
Interesting though, man. This is interesting.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, we've got Creepy Worlds from 1964. Creepy Worlds issue number 35 from 1964. Some UK version.
Shout out to the writers and researchers on this.
These guys are incredible.
A great job with the CovrPrice is doing amazing researching all this data and compiling it into this, so we can push it out in this type of format. So kudos to the researchers and writers there at CovrPrice.
I'm also going to point out the art error that Jack Kirby made on this cover, which is that he gave the Human Torch 2 left hands. Gave him 2 left hands. This is the first appearance of the costumes, first appearance of the Fantastic Car.
Yeah.
I also believe this is the first time they weren't in New York when this first came out. I believe it was just called Capital City, and that was established in this issue as well. Man. Issue 3 is a pretty important issue. There's a lot of fun stuff in this issue and stuff, but I always like to point out the 2 left hands.
That's fantastic.
And you are a Fantastic Four fan, so I will take your word for it.
JV's Printing and Productions. That's right. Maybe doing some
it might have made it look how cut off it is at the end.
Right?
There. Like Mr. Fantastic face is half missing. Half of the price is missing on this thing. Yeah.
On the right side. If you look at the right side, they totally cut off
totally trimmed. This book's been trimmed. All right. That was number 3, Creepy Worlds, issue number 35 from 1964. What have we got at number 4, Gabe?
Number 4, check it out. We got Daredevil. Number 1, the Marco Cicchetto San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Marvel Fanfare Panel Virgin. Marco Cicchetto's Daredevil run, alongside writer Chip Zdarsky, is cemented as one of the best for the superhero, hitting the high watermark left by writers like Mark Waid and Brian Michael Bendis. The series introduced several notable characters, including Detective Cole North, during its 2-volume, 4-year run. In 2022, to mark the start of Volume 8 of Daredevil, Marvel collaborated on a hefty amount of variants to promote the series. In addition to con exclusives for Fan Expo and C2E2, the company released this rare virgin print by Marco Cicchetto for attendees of the Marvel Fanfare panel at San Diego Comic-Con. This book has been a ghost, but someone is paying attention, as 2 of 3 recorded sales happened in the last 2 months. First, a near mint copy sold for $268 in March. And earlier this week, a 9.8 copy of the issue sold for a record-breaking $450. Could that end up being the same book?
Is it?
Interesting.
Maybe.
Oh,
Sick
you
cover,
can't. I mean,
man.
it's raw. I mean, how would you tell?
You never know. You
You
never know.
It's looking like overs tonight, man. I feel you.
Yeah, I mean, but I gotta say, man, this is a gorgeous cover. Marco Cicchetto did an amazing job. I love the goth look in the background with the Daredevil sort of representing a gargoyle. I love that, man.
Rudy says that cover would make a nice tattoo.
Very nice, very nice.
All right. At Shaker number 4, we've got Daredevil issue number 1, the Marco Cicchetto San Diego Comic-Con 2022 Marvel Fanfare Panel Virgin variant from 2022. Good Lord. Marty, I think you're next. What have we got at Shaker number 5?
Yeah, bringing in number 5, G.I. Joe Special Missions number 12, SL Gallant Retailer Incentive 1-in-10 ratio, IDW 2014. The IDW series G.I. Joe Special Missions debuted in 2013 and ran for 14 issues. Each issue had an incentive variant with a ratio of 1-in-10, with each issue featuring characters from the G.I. Joe universe in mostly hilarious situations and themes. We've covered a handful of these in the past, such as issues number 3, 5, and 9, and most recently issue number 1 here. Each of these books have spiked in aftermarket prices over the past few years as more collectors have become aware of this set and how rare many of them have come to be as well. This week, the focus is on yet another variant from the set, issue number 12, which features characters such as Storm Shadow, Snake Eyes, Zartan, and Destro in a pro wrestling match with each other. This book set a new all-time high with a sale of $117 for a raw, near-mint copy going through this past week. This set still has a few more books that remain relatively inexpensive and are worth keeping an eye out for. They may not remain cheap, however, if the rest of the variants in the set are any indication.
What do you guys think of this?
$117 isn't too bad. I mean, these IDW books were like barely sold. Like they had such small like sell numbers on these that I could see this being hard to track down and find. And G.I. Joe fans, if they're a hardcore G.I. Joe fan, they're absolutely going to get this book if they can.
That's what I was going to say too, Gabe, is you just like Spawn. I mean, you have these diehard G.I. Joe fans, man, and something like this, man, will fetch a pretty penny, and that's why you see it in a raw near month for that much, you know. So I can see this being special and especially G.I. Joe collectors.
Yeah, this is one of those books that now that it's sold, it's in somebody's personal collection forever. Probably it'll never come back out on the market. I think.
Well, there you have it. At Shaker number 5, G.I. Joe Special Missions issue number 12, the SL Gallant Retailer Incentive, a 1-in-10 from 2014 by IDW. Now, we are at the halfway point. I will ask, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please take a moment, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss the next time we go live. All right, what have we got at Shaker number 6, Gabe?
Number 6 is going to be an interesting one, everybody. Number 6, Heart Throbs, number 120 from DC Comics from 1969. To this day, domestic violence affects an estimated 10 million people per year in the United States. In 2023, as many as 1 in 4 women and 1 in 9 men reported as victims of domestic violence. In the 1960s, social acceptance of wife beating was just starting to wane in America. Still, it wasn't until the 1970s that real reforms like the first emergency rape crisis line opened in Washington, D.C., or the opening of the first domestic violence shelter in New York City in 1972 started being implemented. Throbs was started by Quality Comics in 1949 and was continued by National Periodical Publications, which later became DC Comics when Quality folded in 1956. DC would go on to publish 100 more issues of Throbs before changing the title to Love Stories in 1972 and fully canceled the book a year later. In 1969, an unknown artist named Neil Adams created this standout cover, reminiscent of early pre-code horror for Heartthrobs 120, highlighting the issue. A controversial cover to this day. Adams created a cover at a time, and he just started to freelance for Marvel Comics in addition to DC, which was a rare circumstance at the time. Raw copies of this book have averaged around $80 for the last few years, but just last week, a very fine, which is a 7.0 to about an 8.5 copy, sold for $282. Comparatively, the fair market value for a 5.5 graded slab is $264.
Wow. You know, I'm glad. I'm glad they represent this especially for domestic violence, because it's a huge issue, of course. And working in the mental health field, unfortunately, you know, we unfortunately have we witness things like that, or hear about things like that. I'm sorry, not witness, but I take that back. Hear things about that, and so I'm glad that this can represent against that. And this coming from 1969 too, you know,
1969 Neil
Yeah.
Adams cover.
Yeah,
Right. I mean, that's yeah.
that's crazy, man. That's
That's
crazy.
crazy,
You know,
man.
yeah, Neil. You talking about Neil Adams, man? He's an icon in the artists in the comic book field. I mean, shoot, you know, early one. If you're a Neil Adams fan, book to have right here.
Crazy. Heartthrobs, issue number 120 from 1969. Originally published by DC Comics. All right, what do we have at number 7, Gabe?
I think it's Marty.
Marty, what do we have at
Yes.
number 7, Marty?
Pokemon Power number 2, distributed in the Nintendo Power number 112. Nintendo of America, Inc., 1998. Nintendo may be making the wrong kind of waves lately, with all the negative press surrounding the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2 and the insane price. However, there are times when Nintendo could do no wrong, thanks to the collection of power-infused pocket monsters. The video games for the Game Boy were what kicked off the craze. Pocket Monsters Red and Green debuted in Japan almost 2 years before the US received Pokemon Red and Blue. Its popularity spawned the animated series, and a year later, the distribution of the game in US markets. In order to promote the release of these new games, Nintendo released 6 mini magazines to build up the hype for the release of the soon-to-be mega hit. This past week, sales isn't the first time one of these issues made a record sale. Back in September 24, Pokemon Power number 1 hit an all-time high of $2,300 for a graded CGC 9.6. This time, the second issue makes its own massive splash on the aftermarket with an all-time high sale of $1,000 for a CGC 9.2. Someone is hunting down these nostalgic pieces of history, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop until they catch them all. Nice.
Man, video game books still hot. Gabe, what do you think of the video game books? Are they going to slow down, or is this just fuel the fire?
I think video game books are going to calm down, but in this case, outside of video games, what's really driving this is Pokemon. Like that. I don't know about your kids, JB, but I think every kid in America that's younger than us was a hardcore Pokemon fan. Like all the kids love Pokemon. All the kids that love Pokemon when I was like in high school, you know, they were like in elementary school. Like my daughter's son, my nephew, all of his friends, now that they got adult money, like they are going after Pokemon stuff. Like you see,
nostalgia
like
sells.
Yeah, you see like Jake Paul and all these other guys who spend big money on like Charizard cards and other Pokemon collectibles. Like that's where their kind of adult money goes to. And that's probably who that is. Some, you know, adult or some kid who has adult money now going off and buying some Pokemon stuff.
Yeah, you got it. All right, folks. That's Shaker number 7, Pokemon Power, issue number 2, distributed in the Nintendo Power number 112 from 1998. Wow. All right. You think maybe a chance to get on the board? No, probably not. What do we got next at number 8?
Number 8 might get you on the board if you love Robin. So number 8 is Robin number 30. This is the Micro Ringo, rest in peace, DC Universe logo. We've been talking about DC Universe logos before. This is from DC Comics, obviously, from 1996. So, DC Universe logo variants, exclusive to mid-1990 multi-packs, are prized for their distinctive UPC box emblem and extremely low print runs. Those books came to be highly sought after and to highlight their demand. A raw copy of Robin number 30 DC Universe logo recently sold for a record $725. Jesus, I'm just reading this for the first time. What? $725.
Hold on.
Pay him. Pay that man his money.
Wow.
Homeboy. All right. With only 2 recorded sales for this issue in the past 2 years, it's safe to say these are hard to come by. Not only that, but 3 other DC Universe logo variants also scored big. Those being Batman Shadow of the Bat 38 for $716. Guy Gardner Warrior, nobody read that book but me. Number 28 sold for $625. And Superman 113 went for $525.
Wow.
As copies grow more and more scarce, you can see how collectors are willing to throw down some big bucks when they do appear.
That's crazy.
I think that is absolutely ridiculous. More power to
DC
you.
Universe logo. Gabe's going through his books right now. He's like, wait a minute, do I got that? No.
Yeah, I got DC Universe logo for Marvel versus DC. I know that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a little out of control. That's
Wow.
That's crazy town, as I like to say, because
yeah,
700, 600, 500 bucks can get you like a really nice back issue, like Silver Age, like
a Silver Age, man.
book, not this random. I get these things are scarce. Multi packs, I don't know. Maybe I know I have a few. I don't think I ever got out of a multi pack. I don't remember, but
it wasn't every book in a multi pack. What it was they were trying to fill out the multi pack, so only a few titles in that pack may have this logo on it. Right. This is. I've talked about these things before, man. If you find DC Universe, I just pick them up if they're cheap enough. I just pick them up.
Might as well. I mean, it's a cool logo. Like it works. It's cool. Yeah, definitely keep your eye out for Robin and Superman and Guy Gardner Warrior.
Right? Wow. All right. At number
Okay.
8, Robin, issue number 30. The Mike Wieringo, may he rest in peace, you said? Oh, no. DC Universe logo from 1996.
VF. That thing's a very fine copy. That thing was
VF,
not
yeah.
in good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy talk. All right. We've got
It's
2
crazy
left. What do we
town,
got?
man.
That's crazy town. What have we got
Crazy
at
town.
Shaker number 9?
Yep. Bringing in number 9 is RWBY. Yeah. RWBY. Number 7.
Rwby.
Derek Chew.
Is it
Rwby. Is it
Rwby.
Rwby? Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Rwby. Okay.
All right.
Rwby number 7. Derek Chew. Walmart. DC 2020. Rwby is an American animated web series created by Monty and produced by Rooster Teeth. Set in the world of Remnant, it follows 4 young women, Ruby, Wise, Blake, and Yang, where you get RWB and what? There you go, Rwby. Training to fight the monstrous Grimm. Known for its anime-inspired art style and high-energy action, Rwby was expanded in comics, novels, and games, gaining a global fan base. In 2020, DC Comics partnered with Rooster Teeth to release a Rwby comic series. 6 issues were printed, but the planned issue number 7 was reportedly canceled when the series shifted to digital. Months later, physical copies of issue number 7 began surfacing. First thought to be lead comp or proof copies, sending prices soaring, with one raw cover A hitting a massive $1,800. That same year, DC launched shrink wrap 4-packs of recent comics at Walmart, priced at $8.98. Although availability varied by location, conditions often suffered due to packaging. Some of these packs included both of the reportedly canceled covers of Rwby number 7, creating an instant aftermarket flood of copies and causing rapid price drops. While Walmart continued selling multiple iterations of these packs for some time, details on when the program ended are unclear. Now, 3 years later, those copies have mostly dried up, especially the Derek True variant. And with recent new high raw sale hitting $115, proving that this once mysteriously issue still has plenty of heat.
All right, hold on. So this was in a Walmart. Do you guys remember when those Walmart packs came out? How horribly they were packaged together with that shrink wrap? That was
remember.
Crazy. So I can see getting high grade must be tough, but damn, come on.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, I'm glad that was my final read of the night, because I picked the long reads this evening, man.
I think it sucks that this comic book got canceled at issue 6, and they only put out issue 7 as a digital version. And then eventually, some physical copies came out. But can you imagine reading a book and you're loving it, and it's like one more issue left, and like, sorry, you gotta get it digitally, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
I feel that way about some shows too, man. I mean, you'll watch maybe one season or a couple seasons, you're like, man, this is great. You're hoping, for example, Swamp Thing, man. I wish they would have kept that going. Me and Tim, we talked about that back in the day, but production for that was very, very expensive. They didn't keep that going.
Or even comic book stores. That must have been that would be a ripoff of comic book store, just selling these books to your customers. And in the last issue, they don't allow you to sell it.
Do we actually have the seller in the house? It looks like Brian Vera says he just sold one. He still has one.
All right, Brian.
Oh, nice.
Right.
Good.
So Brian has 2. Chris, Dr. Yo-Yo, has a copy. So maybe not. I think this is the most copy that we've had on this list so far that people have.
Interesting.
Most people don't have these books on here, but this Rwby one seems to be pretty hard. I mean, hey, congratulations for going through like the gauntlet of, at least in my Walmarts, the gauntlet of crazy people in the parking lot that you had to go through to get to a Walmart. Good on you for doing that to get this comic book.
It's kind of weird. I feel like it's flipped in my neighborhood. Our Walmart is really nice, and our Target's a little shady.
Oh yeah,
Really?
so you got a Targetto then.
Target.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
There's two different types of Target. Like there's that nice fancy one that's a
Yeah.
Target, and then you got the
Yeah.
Targetto. The Targetto is a Target who hooked up with a Walmart, got pregnant, and Walmart left them, and now they're a single mom kind of Target.
Oh, good Lord.
All right.
That's an
welcome to
interesting
the
analogy of that. Very, very, very well done, Gabe. Very well.
Targetto.
All right. Welcome to the show.
Targetto.
69. He's not actually here. Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate you. We've got one more left, and it looks like this read's going to Gabe, I believe.
Yeah, I got the final read of the night, everybody. Number 10, The Unseen, number 13, from a publisher called Pines in 1954. So Golden Age horror continues to turn heads, and The Unseen, number 13, just made its presence felt with a new all-time high of $2,160 for a CGC 7.5, marking the top record sale for this obscure but chilling pre-code gem from Pines. With only 35 copies on the CGC census and just 12 total record sales, this title has remained largely hidden. This 1954 issue delivers a macabre mix of morbid tales and supernatural vengeance, murder hunting jungle pilots. That sounds awesome. Lightning riveted monsters, phantom legions, demon courts, cursed gold, and a coal mine creature dubbed the Black Monster. This book is a full-on descent into pulp horror mayhem. The 7.5 sale is especially noteworthy, given that the second highest graded copy, which is a 4.5, just sold for $600 weeks prior. The spike reflects a growing appetite for high-grade pre-code horror, especially from publishers like Pine, whose books had lower print runs and saw heavy wear from newsstand circulation. Scarcity, sensational content, and rising demand make The Unseen 13 a serious sleeper hit in the horror market. With only 2 known 8.5s and the majority of surviving copies grading 6.0 or lower, high-grade examples are near extinct. This sale just pulled the book out of the shadows and put it right into the spotlight.
Wow. 1954 pre-code horror, The Unseen, issue number 13, to finish off another fantastic Shakers list brought to us by our friends over here at CovrPrice. Now, normally at this point in the show, we would peruse the live Shakers list, but I wasn't prepared for that move. So
I
prepared for that, I guess. Seamless transitions, is that what they call them?
Right.
Always.
The seamless transition.
So this is a cool comic, and we'll just fill some time here to give JB his chance here.
Well,
but this is awesome. I love pre-code anything. That's like one of my favorite eras of comics. Just the history behind it, with the Senate hearings and establishing the comic books code and the gaslighting that happened with seduction of the innocents. And this being a 1954 comic, it's right at that end where it was getting really shaky for the comic book industry, especially any publishers that were putting out anything like horror or crime or anything they felt was kind of nefarious for that time frame. And this is a great cover. There's nothing cooler than love even after death, right? Here he is bringing in his wife right over the doorstep there.
And for you guys that didn't made the Oprah list tonight, I mean, to put a positive spin on that, at least you were consistent of making the offer list. So that's good. I try to look at it in a positive way, right?
Yeah, consistency is king there.
Mm-hmm.
So really quick, we won't, because I got started late and I got dinner over here, but we are going to go through the shakers real quick. If you're not familiar, over at CovrPrice, they've got these tabs set up. You got your hot comics, key comics, rare finds, your daily shakers, your weekly movers, and your top variants. We're going to go into the daily shakers list. This list changes several times every day, so make sure to check it every day. And look at this top row of the big boy books. Showcase issue number 4 for 12 racks. Good Lord. X-Men number 1 and a 3.5 for $6,500. My dream of ever owning this are gone. I'm going to stick to the reprint on that.
I have a 4.5 of that, man.
Right?
Whatever you got, man, you got
it.
That's a cool.
Yeah, you better keep it. Whatever you
no
got,
matter
you got.
what. Yeah.
And it'd probably go up maybe half a grade if I got it cleaned and pressed, right? So I don't know, we'll see.
Let's check out some of the older stuff. 1942's Sensation Comics.
Love it,
Wonder
man.
Woman. Look at the red and yellows in that.
It bondage, it's known for those bondage covers. If you guys don't know the history of Wonder Woman, it's really interesting. You can always look it up on YouTube or something. There's plenty of documentaries. There was also a TV show made of it too. Not necessarily a movie made of it.
Oh, you mean how her creator was in like a polygamy relationship and super into bondage?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah, and he showed that representation through Wonder Woman.
Ghost Rider is still hot. New Mutants 98 still hot. Older Marvel comics. This is one of my all-time favorites right here. This Neil Adams Tomb of Dracula.
Yeah, I was going to say another Neil Adams cover on the list, or on the show tonight.
One of my all-time favorites from 19. I love Marvel frame covers. This whole series from 1972 to early 1973 Marvel frame covers.
Yeah,
good stuff.
This whole run of Tomb of Dracula is fantastic. Like, it's really well done.
Yeah, really
well drawn. A lot of Gil Kane, Gil the Thief Kane covers and artwork in there. Great stuff.
All right. What else have we got on this list? We always see these for anything new.
Anybody have that Spider-Man 238? I'd like to bring that up because the whole tattoo.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah,
interesting.
Okay. I actually have that one. Yeah, I have that one, and I also have the 184 first appearance.
You ready for this? I've got it in Mark Jewelers.
Whoa!
Wow!
With tattoos.
With tattoo and Mark Jewelers.
Wow! And Mark Jewelers.
Look at you, one-upping me.
Wow!
Well, my thing is trying to find the most obscure version of something like Pence variants.
Yeah,
those early Pence variants. I like to find those. Just really looking for the more obscure, different kind of stuff.
Man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Jewelers with the tattoos. You must be beating them off with a stick, JB. Look at you.
That's the girls are knocking.
Look at that Spawn 26.
All right, look at this one. Spawn 226. Todd McFarlane sketch cover. A 1 in 25. Look at this cover.
What was it? $1,700 this one for?
So it's homaging that Hulk. $1,750 for a CGC 9.8. Look at this. Wow. The most common raw is $1,500. Wow.
So only a $250 bump for a 9.8, huh? Not nothing to scoff at, but
yeah,
still.
Nothing to scoff at, but wow. Big time, big numbers, big money.
That's
that. Again, that's that Spawn effect, especially that 200 like 250 era where it was like they printed like 6 copies of those books, dude. Like nobody was buying it.
First appearance, Kingpin, Amazing Spider-Man number 50.
Oh, one of the most iconic covers ever. Thank you, John Senior.
This one right here,
yeah, John Romito Senior. Yeah.
I don't think I've owned this book. And if I have, it was in really, really, really low grade.
I have that in high grade. 5.
It's tough to find that one in high grade.
Yeah, that thing is always beat.
Look at this. 1953, Haunt of Fear. classic zombie cover by Ghastly Graham Ingalls. They use this as part of the Seduction of the Innocent. Look at this thing. Look at this cover. Wow.
Good Lord.
It's
I
got
love
Love
the,
that, man.
I love how the
You've got
Vault
the-
Keeper little circle kind of replaces his eyeball.
Yeah,
That
you got
looks
Crypt
really
Keeper,
cool.
Vault Keeper, Old Witch, Haunt of Fear.
How'd
That's
my mother-in-law get on that cover?
Oh, no.
$1,025 for a CGC 5.5. All right, what do we got next? Row down. Dead of Night? What? Why? Because it's a 9.8 from 1974. G.I. Joe, that's a evergreen. You should have a G.I.
Yeah,
Joe
you should
1
have that.
in your collection. You should have a Star Wars 1 in your collection. They're still affordable. Get a low grade copy.
Yep.
Oh,
Look at that, Captain America 14.
Yeah.
A raw.
Captain
There's no
America
grade.
14.
$800.
$800 raw dog.
$800. Well worth it, man. Well
Look at
worth
this
it.
crazy cover though, man. What have they stumbled into? This is some craziness down there.
I love the I don't know how to say it on here.
What, the thing in his mouth?
No, just the propaganda we had on
Right.
other countries in this time frame, even in comic
Yeah.
books.
I mean, look how they represent the Japanese, right? I mean, obviously you
Wow.
can tell the rising sun flags in the background.
Oh yeah, the rising sun flag in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So
$800
yeah,
no
interesting.
grade. Look at some of the numbers on this and graded. A 4.5 for $4,300 just sold on April 5th. Wow.
It's
Wow.
crazy.
crazy.
Oh wow.
I want to stumble into one of those, right?
Those are awesome.
All right, this one's cool. This is one of those J. Scott Campbell
J. Scott
covers
Campbell's, yeah.
where it's not a woman.
No, he actually did a series of these. Was the Lizard? He did Doc Ock. He did the Goblin. So it was like a whole series of covers for this.
Oh, I can't access my IG on the computer right now, Craig. Yeah.
Yeah.
don't even
We don't want
go
to see
there.
your Explore page.
I got, yeah, you don't want to see all that right now. All right. Amazing Spider-Man.
All those DMs you got from all the ladies hitting you up because of your
yeah.
your Mark Jeweler tattoos.
My Mark Jeweler. Anybody collect some of these? I'm collecting the Spidey Super Stories, the Electric Company ones. You guys doing those?
No.
I've never even seen number 1.
Oh yeah.
This is number 1.
I've seen those. Yeah. We're
Yep.
going to turn it
$800
on.
for CGC 9.8.
We're going to bring you the power on the freaking sea. You remember that? An electric company. On the electric company.
We'll go and remove that, folks. We're gonna wait a minute. Are we not in here?
No.
Can you hear
there's
me?
your- Good night, everybody.
What?
Solo layout? No. Oh, it's this
Uh-oh.
layout. Here we go.
There
Oh,
you
there we
go.
go.
What up?
There it is.
We're back.
All right, folks. That was tonight's show. Thanks for stopping in. Let's go around the horn real quick and say our good nights. Marty.
Yes, and thank you once again for joining us. And huge shout out for everybody in the chat, especially Rudy. You know, he's our wrench out there too. You know, the guys that do behind the scene that help us out, make sure they help us manage stuff, mitigate stuff. And so thank you out there, Rudy. We really appreciate that. We appreciate you guys out in the chat. And we had a good time tonight. It's once again, I say it's a solemn week, you know, as we think about our friend that had left us this time last year. But we also think about the community and how it brought us everyone together. And we're here paying tribute and respect to Tim as we do the show, as we bring it to you every week, right? Whether we do the Tuesday show or the Thursday show, it was something fun. And watching those videos you played earlier, JB, you know, just like I was saying, he had that certain feel about him, that charisma you just can't really duplicate, man, no matter what. So it's good to see that. And guys, have a good and safe weekend out there. And we appreciate you guys watching.
Excellent. Gabe.
Well, it's another fine week. a week of remembrance. But we're all here having fun, having good laughs, talking comics, talking a little bit of comic book history, looking at some crazy sales. Like, what would you rather have? Like, Unseen 13 or a DC logo or DC Universe logo comic? Like, this is nuts. It's great to find the fun, exciting sales, talk about these numbers, do some comparison, hang out with two of the best lords that there has been on the show. JB and I go way back with Tim. Marty and I go way back with Tim. This entire show has always been fun and exciting, and a chance for me to talk to friends about comics. All of our awesome friends in the chat as well. I appreciate you, and we'll see you guys next time.
Definitely. I'm going to play a few things. Hopefully we don't get in any trouble for.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
We're not allowed to play that stuff, right? Can we play that and not get in trouble?
I think if you break it up in those short clips, you're good.
Yeah.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
All right, hold on. It's that last part that you can't play, right? Is that what it is?
No, you can't play more than, like, I think 8 seconds of something that's copyrighted.
Oh, okay.
Cannonball!
Until next time, boys and girls, keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.